Yeah, this is what I look like. I look like this, and I already forgot that we were recording today, so we're off to a great start. I got like, obviously the 2 clips that you saw, but since then I walked Betty, and then we go out in the backyard, and this is insane. Okay, like I did just run, so we're gonna cut ourselves some slack here. But I watered all of the plants because it hasn't rained in a couple days, and we live in Charleston, South Carolina, so it's like 90 to 100 degrees every day. Although we might get storms today because I don't know, it's not that humid out. Last week, it was this really bright, beautiful day. I'll see if you can see. Oh my gosh, those windows need to be washed. Can you see? Yeah. So it was like bright blue and beautiful, but it was also humid. Like when I opened the windows, I was like, whoa. And we got some really bad storms that day. We haven't had a bright morning since then. It's been like overcast and bright in the rest of the day, maybe, but it didn't feel as humid. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm on my way to have a shower coffee and get ready for the day. It's 7:15 and I'll check back in post shower. I love starting my mornings here because it's so sunny and bright. So I have my coffee and I don't think there's any. So I'm about to post on the company TikTok and Instagram, and then I'm gonna respond. Well, actually I already responded to emails, but that's what I would typically do here. And then we'll take a break and go get ready. We are ready. We're in this little jumper today and I'm making breakfast. I'm making 2 eggs and a bagel. We're gonna sit down and eat that. Steph's posted, and then we need to film daily stand-up for my TikTok Agile Challenge. And then we'll talk about the day. All right, so let's talk about what we have going on today, Tuesday, June 23rd. It is 8:46 a.m. right now. All of the social media stuff is done, so now we can focus on work. I have an hour and 15 minutes until my first meeting, and we did all of this. So we're gonna focus on sales right now. So I gamified my sales process, and it's really been helping me. So I use ClickUp for everything, and basically I have this daily score log where I go through, and there's a bunch of different targets, actually it's right here, that I need to hit. So if I send a first message, if I have a connection accepted, message 2, reply received, research calls, root cause calls, proposal sent, clients closed, etc. We've already racked up 200 points for this week. And to give you an idea, a proposal being sent is 25. A client being closed is 100. So it's been a very successful week so far. Now I have rewards for streaks, and I'm about to hit, if I hit my numbers today, a 7-day streak. And we already have a fun thing planned tonight, Kyle and I do, where we're going to get lumpia. I think I'm saying that right. I'm really sorry if I'm not, please correct me if I'm not, from this restaurant in our neighborhood. And we're going to mix a little spritz, and we're gonna shop for the new house on Prime, because it is Prime Day. We're gonna check out some of the competitor sales too, but we're gonna have like a little app happy hour, which was one of my streak reward options for the 7 days. And then I have a 14-day streak reward and a 30-day streak reward. So I need to sit down and figure out how I'm gonna hit my numbers today. I do have a research call later today, but that one has been moved 3 times now. So I'm worried that if I bank on that, I might not hit my numbers. So we're gonna try to set ourselves up for the next hour. I have a meeting from 10 to 11. From 11 to 12, I'm gonna work on client work. And then I'm gonna take an hour lunch break where I need to like unload the dishwasher, reset the house, have some lunch, get Betty outside. And then from 1 to 2:30, I have a block. So we're gonna be working on a couple things for the business. I want to post in a Facebook group. I have a very specific thing I've been wanting to post about, so I'm gonna knock that out. I also need to look into business credit cards. I couldn't do it for the longest time because of the house. My lender told me like, do not open anything for the business. And we've been looking for a house since December. So it's been a very long time. So I'm gonna be looking at opening up a business credit card, a direct mailer strategy. So I got some advice at a networking event last week that for sales, for like your top accounts, to do direct mailers and to integrate it into your outreach strategy. So I'm working on building the prospect list for that and kind of the strategy around that, and hopefully putting that into motion after the 4th of July. And then I need to kind of prep for my meetings this afternoon, because then I have client meetings from 2:30 to 4, the research call at 4, and then I'll wrap up, do some post-call admin from all of those calls. And then I need to do a little bit of client work and send a testimonial request to a client who's actually still with us. We're just closing out phase 1 of their contract and opening up phase 2. So that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna do sales right now. I'll try to remember to check in mid-morning. I'm really bad about it though. but you kind of get the gist of the day. So I'll check in as we go. All right, we did 7 outreaches. We did 4 touch 2s. And so for that, I saw this thing on TikTok I wanted to try, and it was give, ask. So you give value 3 times and then you make your ask. So I did that second round of value for 4 people, and then I did first round of value for 3 people. Did I really only do 3 touch 1s? I think I had that flipped. I think it was 3 touch 2s, 4 touch 1s. So we have 7 points right now, and we have to hit 20 to hit our day goal. Again, I have the root cause call booked for 4 o'clock, and my 3:30 meeting just got moved, which actually helps me rest a little bit. I'll work on a statement of work during that time instead, but I'm about to jump on this call at 11. So this is a backlog refinement cleanup with a developer team. So I've been helping them work on their processes. Me and my team have been helping them work on their processes. So essentially, when there's teams like a developer team or any type of digital delivery team, a big problem is how they accept work. It's how they start getting on the path to burnout or not being productive or just committing to more, biting off more than they can chew. And this team was definitely in that situation. They had hundreds of items in their backlogs that were dating back to like the 2020, 2019, even some of them I saw, and it's 2026. So we've been helping them clean that up. But it's a bear. It takes a while, and you kind of do have to go through everything. And something that's interesting is in these meetings, their team will often be like, well, it's still relevant. And I have to remind them and be like, is it? Because this is from 2019, so you haven't talked about it since 2019. If we haven't solved it since then, I would argue it is very, very not relevant compared to everything else we're doing. I would argue that the business is completely different than it was in 2019. We went through the pandemic. We're going through another economic downturn right now. You can't tell me that the top of the business is prioritizing this over everything else that they've been sending our way. So I'm about to do that for an hour straight. Should be interesting. I usually get pushback. It's one of those harder conversations that we have to have, but this is where we set ourselves up to get this team results, as we show them some tough love and we kind of try to help them understand the why. So I'm going to jump into this call, and then we're free from calls at least until 2:30. Meeting is done. I'm going to move out to the sunroom and lay down on the ground and work, and we have some client to-dos. So for this specific client, I'm actually working my way out of client delivery. This is the only client that I work on right now. The team works on the rest of them. But we are gearing up for Q3. And so since I'm in a PM program management role, portfolio management role, we're focusing on requirements gathering and making sure that everything's set. So I need to review, first of all, the Q2 project list and make sure that the project status reports are looking healthy and good and that we're in a good place for the last full week of the quarter. And then look at the third quarter and figure out, okay, how are we doing? What's at risk? What needs more attention right now? So that's what we're about to go out and do. This meeting ended early. It's 10:38 a.m. So I'm hoping that I can blaze through this and be done by about 11:30, 11:45, and get a head start on lunch so we can get a head start on our biz development session. All right, so it's 12:29 right now. I'm about to go work outside for a little bit. I've been doing this thing lately where I eat lunch a little bit later because as soon as I eat lunch, my energy goes meow. So we're gonna try to get in like another hour of work and then eat lunch. So what's happened since I last talked to y'all? I had the meeting, I think I talked to you after that, came out here, worked. One of the stakeholders from one of my clients, he called me and he was like, hey, I'm feeling so misaligned and so frustrated. And there are a series of projects that he's been running. And I've been flagging these for since April. I've been like, this is not going to happen. There is no project manager on this. We have, like, my team and I had a set amount of hours. They cut some of those hours and I was like, yo, like, that work doesn't just get magically picked up. Here's what I would do if I was you. And they just like took my recommendation and wiped their butt with it. So he called me and he was like, if we could just like get alignment. And I was like, I totally agree. You and the other decision maker have been changing your minds and not communicating every single week. And so myself, the scrum master, the team is trying to, and the vendors PM, we're all trying to be like this middleman helping you two talk to each other. You two need to get on the same page. So I told him, I'm like, okay, what I'll do, I'm going to document, because the other decision maker's out of office today, I'm going to document what you think the next 2 weeks are going to look like. Hi, Betty. I sincerely apologize. I do this. I get really bad at filming as the day goes on. Anywho, that guy talked to me. We put together like a document that everyone needs to sign off on. I'm not the PM on this project, but people will like hit me up because the org isn't very well staffed. But anyway, that happened. Worked outside for a little bit. I've been working on my sales motion. I had a research call. Very interesting call. We'll see. Anyway, I'm trying to help orgs adopt AI. It's just interesting because like my research calls, people are either like, hell yeah, AI, or they fucking hate it. This guy loved it. Was like, marketing as an industry is gonna be dead in a year. I don't believe that, but I do believe there's gonna be some regulation placed, like some legislation placed around artificial intelligence. I'm so sorry. I feel like today was so boring. It was just such a legitimate day. Like this is how it is sometimes. I'm just at my desk all day. Tomorrow I'm out and about a little bit more at networking events, but I want to show you guys, you know, the whole thing and not just the glamour days. Yeah, so I had a client call this afternoon. I did work for that client. I worked on my sales motion. I could talk about that a little bit if I have time on here. Had my research call. I'm doing some post-meeting admin. It's 4:54 p.m. right now. Probably an hour of work left and then I'm done for the day. But basically I'm thinking of restructuring my pipeline and focusing on give, ask, and splitting people up into who I follow up with weekly, which would be my warm leads, monthly, which would be leads I'm just trying to nurture, and then quarterly, which would just be leads that I'm developing a long-term relationship with.